Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Christopher Frias, and today I'm going to briefly talk to you about unemployment. First question is, what is unemployment? Well, unemployment is a phenomenon that occurs when a person who is actually searching for employment is unable to work. Unemployment is often used as a measure of how the economy is doing. Now, if you really look into unemployment, you see three striking different kinds of unemployment. Some kind of taper in a little bit with each other, but they're individually a little different in how they work. So, first you have frictional unemployment. This arises when a person is in between jobs. It takes normally It takes time normally to go from one job to another, making frictional unemployment short-lived. So if you're going from job to job, say if you're a clerk and then you work at a supermarket, hypothetically, the chances of you getting that job are pretty high, and in between the time that you get that job, it's relatively short. So you're out, but you're in. Cyclical unemployment is when business cycles are at their peak. Cyclical unemployment will be low because the total economic output is being maximized. When economic output falls, as measured by the GDP, the business cycle is low and cyclical unemployment will rise. So say example, if you worked at a factory that produces steel, now once the demand for steel falls, then companies have to bait and switch and see what they can do, and sometimes that leads to people being laid off because the demand isn't there. And then you have structural unemployment. This is a longer lasting form of unemployment caused by fundamental shifts in the economy and are exacerbated by extraneous factors such as technology, competition, and governing policy. Really good example for this would be definitely the coal industry. As you've seen over the past 40 years, we've found different types of renewable energy that allow us to get energy at a much cheaper price. Therefore, the need for coal isn't there really. It's still there, but it's not needed as much as it used to be 50 or 60 years ago. And for those people who are experts in the coal industry, there's not many jobs because it's not really needed. So you have to shift people going to renewable energy. So there's always the factor of there being jobs always. Now, over here to my right, I have the unemployment rate being the formula. The formula goes as is. It's 100 times the number of people employed divided by the labor force. In my example, what is Maine's unemployment rate if the number of people employed is 5 million and the labor force is around 16.25 million people or individuals? Here, how you would apply the formula is you would take your 100 right here, then you would take the number of people employed, which is 5 million, take 100 times 5 million, and then you divide it by your 16.25 million individuals, and Maine's unemployment rate reaches about 30.8%. Now, if you were to take my second example, which is the labor force participation rate, it goes like this. You would take 100, as you would do up here for unemployment rate, but it's different now. You're taking the labor force and you're dividing it by the adult population. So in my example here, I have what is Canada's labor force participation rate if their labor force is 525,000 people right here, and the adult population is around 4 million people. So if I were to do the calculations myself, you would take first, 100 times 525,000, then after that, you would divide it by 4 million people. And naturally, your answer is going to be around 13.125%. And this is how many people are actively in the labor force. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you very much for listening to my brief instructional video on unemployment, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.